Have you ever noticed this pattern in the Resident Evil series? At the start of every game, the clothes are always clean and in good shape. By the end, they are completely torn to pieces. In this video, I want to show you every single moment where the characters get more undressed than they were at the start of the game, or their clothes get damaged and their bodies get injured, and I will also tell you why that happens. After all, these are the little details Capcom puts into its games, and maybe if we only experience a game casually, we do not pay much attention to them. So do not worry at all, because I am here and I want to tell you all of this throughout the entire Resident Evil series. So let's get into the video as soon as possible. But first, welcome to your own channel, Vania. If you are just discovering me, make sure to subscribe to my channel and come along with me. And now, let's go deeper. That's where the real story begins. Well, I want to show this pattern to you from last to first. So, the first game we are going to look at is Resident Evil Requiem. This change of clothes applies to both characters, Leon and Grace. The game starts with Grace Ashcroft, who is working at her FBI office, and this formal outfit you see is what she is wearing. But after her new mission comes in, she puts on the right clothes for rainy weather and heads into danger. A leather coat with a hood, though I do not know why she does not put the hood up in that pouring rain. She keeps moving forward until, in that abandoned hotel, her sleeve gets caught on a coat rack, and to keep the cop from eating her, she has to take her coat off. Later on, when Grace wakes up in the clinic, she sees that she has been strapped to the bed and they are taking her blood. Here, she's only wearing that t-shirt, and Victor Gideon has bandaged up her wounds. This continues all the way to the end of the game. Grace just gets a little dirtier, which is completely normal anyway. Now, let us move on to the King of Hearts, Leon Kennedy. Our guy comes back after all these years wearing a really cool overcoat. But as things go on, Victor Gideon locks him up, and when he wakes up, he sees that the guy has taken his coat off and all that is left on him is the outfit he is wearing. It stays that way for the rest of the game, but because of everything that happens, he gets dirtier and dirtier. Raccoon City Syndrome is what is slowly wearing Leon down and blackening his whole body. Yeah guys, that was the full set of changes the protagonists go through in this version. Now let us move on to the next game, Resident Evil 8 Village, and also its previous version, number 7. Look guys, these two games were only designed in first person. But when RE7 came out, it was way too scary for some players, and because of that, a lot of people could not finish the game. Some of the old school fans also said that this first-person view took away the real Resident Evil feeling from the game. So after RE8 came out, Capcom added a third-person mode to the game that only included gameplay. The cutscenes still stayed in first-person though. That is exactly why the 9th game also has both first-person and third-person options, so every player can enjoy the game however they want. Now let us not drift away from the topic and talk about clothes and appearance. In third-person mode, when you look at Ethan's face and animations, you realize this game was not built from the ground up for that perspective. So changing outfits throughout these games does not really make much sense. The only real thing worth mentioning is the ending of Resident Evil 8. That is when Ethan takes off his jacket and gives it to his little daughter, Rosemary, as his only keepsake. After that, all he has left is the hoodie he is wearing. Later on, we can see Ethan's jacket on his daughter in the DLC and in the game's ending. We can also see Ethan's black hoodie that was left for him after the ending. In RE7, Ethan just wears that one white shirt from the beginning to the end of the game. Although there is one more thing worth mentioning, and that is our guy, Chris Redfield. In a few of the first cutscenes of the game, he is seen wearing that black overcoat and it looks pretty slick. But once the gameplay starts with this character, we see that he has taken off his coat and is ready for the operation. He's only wearing a sweatshirt with a tactical vest, because the mission in this part of the game is extremely brutal, so nothing should get in his way. Now it is Resident Evil 6's turn, the version that many people consider the worst game ever made in this series. As you know, this game has 4 separate storylines that complement each other. Now let's go through the characters one by one, looking at their appearance and see what changes happen to them as the game progresses. Ada Wong starts the game in the same outfit she ends it in. The bad part is that her clothes do not even get the slightest bit dirty or torn. In Chris's campaign, well, in the first cutscene, he is wearing the same overcoat he had on in the 8th game. But when gameplay begins, Chris puts on his BSAA field gear, which looks a lot like Chris from the 5th game. In the end, he and Pierce keep wearing the same outfits until the end of the game. Though by the end of the campaign, our boy's outfit gets a little torn up, just a tiny bit. Although in the flashbacks, Chris's outfit has long sleeves and is equipped for fighting in the cold. The next campaign belongs to Sherry and Jake. This story starts in a fictional country called Edonia, and as you can see, the weather here is brutally cold. So logically, both of them are wearing coats. The game moves forward until these two lovebirds get captured by Neo Umbrella and are taken to China for a series of experiments. Naturally, at first, they are stripped down, but after they manage to escape, they somehow get lucky and find several new sets of clothes in a wardrobe that suit the local weather and put them on. That is what they wear for the rest of the game. And now for Leon's campaign. At the beginning, our guy is wearing that sexy leather jacket you see here. Helena Harper is also wearing a shirt with a vest over it. But when they figure out that all of this is Simmons' doing, they have to get on a plane and travel to China. From here until the end of the game, Leon wears a purple shirt that fits the game's theme along with a vest. This is Helena's new outfit too. Now we have to skip Resident Evil 5, because from beginning to end, Chris and Sheva wear the same outfits, and nothing changes about them. It is the same in the DLC too. And now for the beloved 4th game, which I am going to look at in both the classic version and the remake. I will start with the remake, so let us go. At the start of the game, Leon is wearing this brown pilot jacket with a t-shirt underneath. But very early in the game, when Leon finds Luis, Father Mendez suddenly comes up from behind and decks him. But when he wakes up, he sees that they have taken his jacket off to inject Las Plagas, and now all that is left on him is the t-shirt and the tactical gear hanging off him. Nothing changes for the rest of the game except Leon's clothes and body getting dirtier. Now we have Lady Ashley here, whose clothes look like this the first time we see her. A coat and an orange scarf. But when she gets captured by Ramon Salazar, all that is left on her is that one sweater and her skirt. For the rest of the game, she stays like that, just a little dirtier and, of course, with even more torn tights. You might think we are done with the RE4 remake here. Well, I have to say that you are absolutely right, because Ada Wong, both in the main game and in the DLC, from what I could see, does not even get a scratch on her clothes. That woman is ridiculously professional. So now, if you agree, let us move on to the classic version, which honestly has nothing special to say about this topic. Because Leon is exactly the same as I just told you in the remake. First a pilot jacket, then after the fight with Father Mendez, it becomes the same t-shirt and gear setup. Ashley is the same in this version too. Unlike the remake, she wears only that one sweater from the beginning, without any orange coat. Ada is the same here too, and stays that way until the end. So now we can move on to the 3rd game. In the remake, Jill Valentine looks like this. She's wearing a blue tank top. It stays like that until the end of the game too, but with only a very small change. After a major fight between Jill and Nemesis, the lady gets injured. But when she wakes up, we see that the wound has been wrapped with bandages. Throughout the game, we can see Jill getting dirtier on her hands and face, and also more bloody and more wounded. That was the full set of changes in Jill's clothes and appearance throughout the game. We also have another character that series fans know very well, Carlos. Our guy does not change at all from beginning to end, and keeps wearing the same UBCS outfit. In the classic version too, naturally, there are no changes to the character's appearances. Let us move on to one of the best Resident Evil games, the second one. In the remake, Leon starts off wearing a very normal casual outfit, a jacket with jeans, but when he reaches RPD and Lieutenant Marvin saves him, he takes off his regular clothes and puts on the police uniform with the necessary gear and vest. But after he meets Ada and gets shot by Annette Birkin, Ada takes care of him. She takes off his wristbands and wraps his wounds with bandages. That is how we end up with a battered Leon for the rest of the game, whose clothes and face keep getting dirtier and bloodier. On the other side, we have Claire Redfield with her famous red leather jacket. Everything stays like this until right before entering Nest. But when little Sherry gets injured and infected and needs care, Claire takes off her jacket and puts it on Sherry. For the rest of the game, she continues with just that black tank top. And like the other characters, the further we go, the more injured and dirty Claire gets. Now there is just one more person left, and that is none other than Ada Wong. The first time we see the lady, she is wearing a beige trench coat, sunglasses, and leather gloves. In short, she has serious drip. But when the shooting scene comes and Leon jumps in front of the bullet, Ada's glasses get knocked off her face. Then, when she is treating Leon, she takes off her coat and puts it over him so the kid does not get cold. And from that point on, she appears in this beautiful red outfit. But as she moves forward and Annette does this to her, dirt takes over Ada's whole outfit and body, and her right leg gets injured too. A little later, when Leon wakes up, he goes to find Ada, takes the knife out of her leg, and pays her back by bandaging it up right there. And until the end of the game, that torn up look you see stays on Ada. Yes, that was the remake version. Now let us go to the classic version. Unlike what we just saw, Leon enters Raccoon City in this version already wearing his RPD uniform from the start. Everything goes the same as the remake until we again reach the shooting scene. Here, Leon jumps in front of the bullet like Superman. But this Ada is not that Ada, because here, the lady does not care about Leon at all and runs off to deal with Annette. A few minutes later, Leon wakes up on his own and gets his first heartbreak when he realizes Ada never cared about him. Now, Leon's clothes have a bullet hole and a lot of blood added to them. Then he finally reaches Ada, and with a whole lot of attitude, the lady wraps a bandage around this poor guy's wound. And that is how it stays until the end of the game. But Claire Redfield's clothes and appearance are exactly the same as what we saw in the remake. The only difference here is that instead of pants, she's wearing shorts. Other than that, it is the same red jacket, and the exact moment Sherry needs help, Claire takes off her jacket and puts it on Sherry. The only difference is that in this version, instead of wearing a tank top under her jacket, Claire is wearing a black t-shirt now. Leaving that aside, Ada in this version is basically the same. There are no other differences. Even when she gets injured, Leon does not even put a bandage on her. Yes friends, the second game is fully covered too. Now only the first game is left, which honestly does not even need any coverage, because neither Chris nor Jill changed their clothes at all. It is the same in the remake too. So with that, I think our video is done. The other versions I did not cover are the same as well. That was every moment where the character's appearance and outfits changed throughout the Resident Evil franchise. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching until the end of the video. If you liked me and my work, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and write your thoughts about these visual changes in the comments. In my opinion, Capcom really nailed this. all the characters are clean and their clothes are intact at the beginning of the story. But as time passes and they have to fight zombies, it is only natural that they get dirty and injured and that their clothes change too. And Capcom does a great job of showing those details, at least in the newer games. That is what I mean. So make sure to leave your opinion on this in the comments too. I love you all, and remember this: when the game ends, the real story begins. Have you ever noticed a tiny detail like this? Why is Ada Wong always wearing red? Well, to understand that, first we need to understand what red means in women's clothing. In psychology, wearing red represents a few things. For men, it is usually seen as more attractive, but beyond just beauty, red also stands for seduction, danger, and power. Exactly the things that describe Ada's character, right? So, if someone asks you later why Ada always wears red, now you know the psychological answer to that question.